Hi, Deborah Roth here again from Spirited Living. On to tip number 3 of the 4 essential tips for soul-centered dating. Now, I know so far this sounds like, but we're not really talking about dating here. My premise here, and what I've really come to passionately believe, is that all of this is all part of the dating process. Much like a writer just doesn't sit down and start to write a brilliant bestseller, there's lots of ruminating time, lots of prep time that's still considered part of the writing process. So consider this self-discovery and readiness time part of the dating process. And in fact, you might even want to hold off a little bit on further dating until you work through some of these ideas that I'm throwing at you. So the third essential tip is actually one, the language that is not unique to this program that I was trained in, but when I first was trained to be a relationship coach, one of the principles that we talked about for really conscious, spirited dating is to be the chooser. And if you think about the power that that gives you, the not power in a I'm in control kind of way, but an empowered kind of way. You choose. You're not in a place of desperation. You are assertive in how you put yourself out there. You set strong boundaries. You're very clear about what you want and what you don't want in a relationship. And that can really, that sort of assertiveness, that sort of strength to presumably the right kind of guy who doesn't want to be with a wimp and a doormat, that kind of strength will really attract the kind of man who wants a relationship with someone who's not just there to roll over and do everything at their beck and call. So this notion of being the chooser, what does that mean for you? Write down a few ways that you might be more assertive in a relationship. Where in the past have you not declared strong boundaries? I need a hug when I get home from work, or I need some separate time when I get home from work. I need to snuggle a little bit more. And we're not talking about this in a needy kind of way. We're talking about this in terms of what really fulfills you. And the conversation can be had in the dating process in a very empowered way. Just, simply by saying, if you need that space when you get home, I am so psyched to see you at the end of the day, and I just always start it with something positive. I just need to take a breath and decompress a little bit when I walk in the door. Whatever your issue is, whatever's come up for you in the past as being a way that you feel like maybe your choice has been taken from you. You've allowed it to be. Nobody does that without us allowing them to. So think about how you can be more assertive, how you can create stronger boundaries, how you can be in choice as you enter a relationship. And one of those ways is to get very clear about what your must-haves are, what your requirements are in a relationship, what your absolutely nots are, and those you can certainly look back at failed relationships and probably come up with a decent list of those, and your wouldn't it be nices, your negotiables. The wouldn't it be nices are like dream fantasy things, but definitely what are your non-negotiables in a relationship? No smoking, no addiction issues. Some of those are pretty classic, pretty straightforward. But think about for you. I mean, for me, I know, for instance, I knew I needed a touchy guy. I grew up in a very huggy house. Fortunately, that's who my husband is, and that's one of the ways that we've been together for so long. So choose what empowers you and bring that into your dating process. We'll move on to tip number 4.